Had a real special bond. They'd just grown up through the years. It was nice to see. They brought the best out of each other. You know, I think Mason used to calm Max down and Max used to bring Mason out of his shell. So it was a nice friendship.
16-year-old Max Dixon and Mason Rist, just 15, had known each other since nursery. On a cold Saturday night last January, they headed out to get a pizza. They were then hunted down in a horrifying case of mistaken identity. A group armed with a baseball bat and knives, one described as more like a sword, set upon them.
Me and my partner Trevor, we were up in bed. The next minute there was a car pulled up outside my house and was shouting up out at my windows that Max has been stabbed. And I said, no, he's not. I said, he's in bed.
Max and Mason couldn't get away. They didn't stand a chance. One of their injuries, so severe, was 20 centimetres deep, causing instant, massive blood loss.
It was just such a panic. I don't know what I was thinking. I was sat down on the floor and the paramedics were cutting his clothes, and I just kept thinking, he's going to be so annoyed with you because you're cutting his coat off, because it was his Christmas coat. And that was all that was going on in my mind. I'm thinking, you're cutting his clothes off. He's going to be so mad at you because you're cutting his clothes off.
This is what started the whole thing. A group, armed, masked, launch an attack on a house. The 4 teenagers sentenced today were on a hunt for revenge for the attack and determined to find it. Max and Mason were in the wrong place at the wrong time. In court today, the convicted murderers were shown the blood-stained hair and the ashes of one of the boys killed. As the teenagers looked blankly down, Mason's sister told them despite today's sentencing, there were no winners in this.
Nothing can undo the dreadful events of that night last January. Nothing can bring Mason and Max back. No sentence which this court passes can lessen the sense of loss and grief caused to their families, nor does it represent in any way the value of those young lives.
Jailed today for life. Riley Tolliver, now 18, and 17-year-old Cody Westcott, named publicly for the first time, were given a minimum of 23 years each behind bars. 2 others, who were just 14 and 15 at the time of the attack and still can't be named, were given a minimum life sentence of 15 and 18 years, respectively. During the case, details of some of their childhoods were revealed. Bleak, desolate, lacking food, schooling, care or love. One was said to have the mental age of an 8-year-old.
These juveniles have not only destroyed our families, but to an extent their own lives and that of their own families. And we hope that as they grow older and mature, hopefully in prison, they do fully come to realise the extent of what they have done.
People want an end to knife crime in Bristol. Change is happening, but some feel it's too slow. Since Max and Mason died, knife crime hasn't stopped here, and leaders in Bristol want far more awareness about how knife crime is linked to things like education, youth services and poverty. But it's already too late. Lives behind bars, lives taken, and lives of families shattered.
They went out to get some food and they wouldn't have had a clue what was going on. They must have been petrified.
Because it is the terrifying reality for families in Britain today. Children among those sentenced for murdering other children.